Welcome to the Salty Seekers, where you can hang out with friends and talk about all areas of spirituality and the metaphysical, while knowing you don't have to be pure love and light to do it. Hi, and welcome back to the Salty Seekers. Hi, Jay.
Hello, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm feeling like I need a little smudge,
Little
actually.
smudge.
Yeah, like I feel stressed and like out of whack. Do you ever feel that way?
Most of the time, yes.
Most of the time.
I run on stress and caffeine.
Ugh. Well, I run on caffeine, but not typically stress, and I can tell when my vibes are out of whack or something. I need some work. I need some hygiene. So,
Maybe a good nap. Naps help.
are you one of those people that they help? I'm
No,
so jealous of that.
I never get time to take a nap.
But like, if you did, do they
Typically,
help
yeah.
you? See, I'm envious of that because I'm not that person. It's the rare time that I could take a nap and it will help me.
Well, I mean,
Um,
you have your fine clairsentience, and I can nap. I'm not saying which is better, but
Right, normally if I take a nap,
was
what?
that sage? Or was that
It's sage. It's sage.
it's a big fatty?
That would be a huge fatty, that's right. And for someone who's never smoked weed, like that would be a little much for me, I think. I think that when I take a nap, I wake up so much. Sorry, gotta get the pits too. Gotta get all the nooks and crannies. Um, when I take a nap, is that entertaining?
I got a
Uh,
whole vibe in my cheeks.
yeah, gotta get the booty. When I take a nap, I wake up feeling awful. It ruins my whole day. And I feel groggy. I feel so low vibe. I feel cranky. I wake up not well. The only time naps work for me is occasionally spirit will tell me to take a nap. Like if they're doing energy work or something on me, I get this very distinct energy on my head. It's not even like third eye or crown. It's like my whole head, it's kind of glowing and my eyes get heavy and I can hardly keep my eyes open. And from experience, I know that that's spirit saying, time to take a nap. Usually it's time to meditate or nap. I'm not quite sure what they want. So I usually just go sit down or lay down and say, okay, we have like 20 minutes to either meditate or nap, do what you will. And almost instantly I'm out like deep. So then I wake up feeling better, but that's only sometimes. It's not often.
That's how meditating is a lot for me. It's almost naps because once I get deep in there, I'm
Hmm.
just saying, I'm gone.
Yeah. And so if I try to do it of my own volition, like lay down and take a nap, I'm screwed for the whole day. It's awful.
Feel better?
I do. I do feel
Okay.
better. Thanks.
Cool experience.
I feel a little bit lighter and clearer. Did you need some?
No, I'm good.
You
Hey,
good?
what are you doing to me?
Here's some Palo Santo.
Oh,
Great.
burns.
It was a cool experience for me, but in general, it just sounds dumb like who cares? But I wanted to talk about it because this is a good example of how spirit can communicate with you using your dreams that might help other people to start recognizing it. So, in my experience, when you ask spirit to show you something in dreams, it doesn't happen right away.
Mhm.
It might take days, maybe a week or two. So, I have been having so much trouble with my allergies and asthma.
Oh, I thought
What's
it was a sage getting to you. I'm sorry.
no, no, I'm not that bad. But with my allergies and asthma, like my sinuses are just constantly a mess. And I'm always like, ugh, just miserable. If you have allergies, you know. And so I was laying there the other night and I was just asking my guides, I'm like, do I have any healer guides that can like help me with this? Like, I'm so miserable. The allergy pills aren't working. Help me get rid of these allergies, whatever's happening in there. Like, clear up my sinuses. Help a sister out. So, anyways, I just went about my business and forgot about it. This morning, I had a dream that I was opening a bottle of Flonase nasal spray, and it had like a big orange, and I think it only had this orange package to make me pay attention to it. It made it memorable. It had this big orange rubber like holder that you had to push the bottle into. And then I was like, oh my God, this is going to help my allergies so much. And I woke up and I'm like, yes, I forgot that I used to get Flonase and that's what helped. Like I forgot all about it. I'm like, thanks guys. So I bought Flonase this morning. But anyways, I know that was dumb, big deal, but that's often how spirit communicates. They aren't going to send you a message from the heavens going, buy Flonase. They're going to give you a dream where you're doing that or you see something and gives you an idea. Practical uses, easy, practical spirituality, right? What about you? Do you have any good dreams?
No, well, last night I don't really remember any of them. Some nights I do, some nights I don't. The night before, saw some deceased loved ones coming by. Not really
Yeah.
interacting, but just kind of like
Yeah, me too. I saw my Uncle Ed.
those are always fun. Just kind of, oh,
Mhm.
hey, you're still good, good.
Yeah. My Uncle Ed, if you guys don't know, my Uncle Ed died the end of January, so a little over a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago. And we had his
Mhm.
funeral a couple weeks ago. And so, anyways, he had popped in to just say, hey, doing good. He looked young and healthy. He looked like he did when I was little. So I was able to send my cousin a text and go, hey, I saw your dad in my dreams last night. He looked great. And she was like, oh my God, that's the best message ever. Thank you. That made my day. So that was a little blessing that I got to share. Yeah, I love it when they check in with me.
Yeah, I don't share.
It brings me comfort to know they're doing okay.
No, I don't share. They're mine, all mine.
My precious.
That's right. I'm not sharing. Mainly because I don't know how some of the people around me would take that. Say, oh yeah, I saw your dad the other day, and he said he was doing good. And they're like, my dad's dead. You're talking to the devil. Okay, put,
See, that's the difference between you and me.
put the pitchfork down. It's okay.
See, radiation is divided hang into on. Three types UVA. UV.
Apparently, spirit wants to let you know that you have radiation.
I guess. And like, I didn't even push to turn it off. It just stopped mid sentence, too. Like, what? Well, one of them are here, like, sending us messages right now. So just playing with us. Let me put this on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry I keep clearing my throat. It's the whole
Sage, yes.
asthma thing. Yes, it's the sage. It's the
I
sage.
feel weird. I
Yeah.
don't know what's
I don't
happening.
know what's happening. My skin's burning off. Like,
That's
ah.
right. I put salt in the doorway. You crossed it. It hurts, right?
Oh my gosh, I'm getting ready to have a baby shower for my daughter Amelia. And I was thinking, should I smudge my home and like put fresh wards up, like freshen everything up
Mm-hmm.
before people come or after?
Both.
If it's before, some of them might not show up. They might not come. Or they'll be like, I don't feel good. I gotta go. Yeah.
Do both.
Yeah, maybe I will. It'll save on food costs. I'm already worried I won't have enough places to sit people. So, that might help out. I'll smudge the invitations before they go out, like put a little sigil on them. Like, if you have ill intentions or negative energy, don't come. And then, I'll get all these RSVPs going, sorry, can't attend.
I broke out when I touched the card. It's weird.
My fingers are burned. My mailbox burst into flames as soon as it got
Well, if you figure out how to do that, let me know so I
there.
can spread the joy.
Did you see my one video on how to make a sigil?
Don't think I did.
It was tucked inside of a cleansing and cleaning your front door area for the first of the month. So making a sigil is super easy, actually. It takes a minute to do it, but it's easy. It's easiest to show you. I don't have anything here in front of me, but in a nutshell, I have paper here. Let me show you. So you decide how many letters you want to use so you can make a key. Like you can use 5 letters, 7 letters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then you would put like A, B, C, D, E, F. You know what I'm talking about, right? You make a key. And so then you write out whatever your intention is, like keep my home safe from evil, or only good energy and prosperity flow into this home, whatever you want it to be. And then you plot that out with the numbers, like K would be a certain number, you know what I'm saying? And then you draw a circle and you write out your numbers around the circle, 1 through 5. Then just plot a shape based on the numbers of your phrase. Am I totally blowing this or are you following me? Because it's easier to show you than to just say
I'm
it.
following along, but it's something I would need to play with to fully grasp at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm one of those you can This is how it works. That's how it works. Let me do it. Once I do it, I'll better understand you.
Right. I will link to the video where I fully display this. I fully tell you about it. I show you how to do it. I fully demonstrate all of it. I'll link to that video in the show notes or the description box below. So, yeah, you would draw a circle and put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you can write them in any number any order that you want. And then you would say your phrase, the numbers ended up being like 5, 3, 2, 1. You would start at the 5, draw to the 3, go to the 2, go to the 1, and you can make it as swoopy or as straight or anything as you want to. So for that, if that was the whole thing, your sigil would look like that. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And so anytime ever that you draw that sigil, that's what that would mean. It holds the energy of that intention. But before you get to that point, you have your whole phrase, which is kind of long. You go through and you cross out any duplicate letters so that it makes it a little bit shorter. But, anyways, to get the full instructions and demonstration of how to do it, go to my video and watch that part, and I will link to it
I
for
think I
you.
could be good at that. I mean, not to brag, but I was really good at connect the dots in early school. I got this.
Natural born talents. You can like put up a post on Fiverr offering your services, like professional sigil maker. So then you can use your sigil anywhere. Like if you're doing your front door cleansing, you would take some water, moon water, oil, anything you want, and draw that sigil like on your windows or your front door. I took a piece of selenite and I drew it on the cement under my doormat so that it would protect against anything dark getting in the house, that type of thing. Yeah, you can make it for anything. Like if you're into I think it's called glamour magic, where you want to be attractive to people. You want people drawn to you. You can enchant if you're a man, you can enchant your cologne or your hairbrush. Or if you're a woman, you can enchant your lipstick or your perfume or your makeup brush. You make a sigil for whatever you wanted to say, like, I am magnetic and charismatic. People are drawn to me. You make that sigil and then you just draw that on all your things. And then whenever you use them, it refreshes your energy for that intention.
It's too much
Very cool.
power. I can't do this.
Step into your power.
Mm.
Step into your power, Jay.
I've never had to fight them off, and if that started, I'm ill-equipped to deal with something like that.
But like you can put it on your car for protection. You can put it on your checkbook that any money I spend will always be returned to me threefold. You know what who uses a checkbook anymore, but you get my point. You can put it on your debit card.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can really get creative with these things and think of just incredible ways, like on your refrigerator, the food that I eat,
Will not gain me weight.
right, will always help me and not harm me. On your water, your glass. In the morning, you get up, you get a glass, you can draw a sigil on it for like health and vitality. And then all the water that you drink through the day will bless you, even more than it already does.
See, this is how I know I don't need this. You're thinking of these beautiful things to use it for, and I'm over here thinking of mischievous things to use it for. Like, I'm gonna put a sigil on my fist, and every time I hit somebody, this punch will not bring charges.
I need that for my invisibility cloak. If you guys don't know, I was talking about this yesterday in my live meeting with my members about how they say that men think so much about the Roman Empire. Like that's all they do is think about the Roman Empire like so many times a day. Well, like having an invisibility cloak is my Roman Empire. What is your Roman Empire if it's not that? What do you think
Just
about?
daydream in general, but it's never any
Is
one
there a
specific
specific
topic.
theme?
It's whatever. A lot of times, it's whatever the current events are. I'll start daydreaming about what's going on. Very rarely do I find myself going, well, imagine myself in the Camelot or Rome or whatever. Just whatever's most current is just kind of playing there.
Hmm. I even have dreams about it. I have dreams that I'm walking through rooms invisible, and every once in a while if it's a bad dream, like someone will see me, like they'll just turn their head and they'll like focus in on me and they're like, "What are you doing here? I see you."
Ah, the king's robes.
Oh, got to go. Trying to find a way out.
There is one that I have focused on. We've talked
What?
about it.
What?
Occasionally, it'll jump in my mind. It's like all of a sudden you're transported back in time. How do you
That too,
survive?
that's my second place. Time travel. What
Any
would I do?
period is like any period you're stuck there. How do you survive with the skills you know now that do not apply back then?
Well, I always think about that because Outlander is my favorite book series. I mean, there's what, 9 of them now? Yeah. So I think about that a lot, but I primarily focus on my life. Like, what would I do if I woke up and I was 14 again? Or what would I do if I woke up at this time? You're just in your body, but you're back there with all of your wisdom.
All right, new mistakes. Here I come.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, invisibility. And so when one of our members, Marie had asked, what would you do if you had an invisibility cloak? And I was like, oh, Lord have mercy. No good. That's what I, no good. I would be up to no good. And they're like what? And I'm like, well, first of all, the most innocent thing I would do is that I love mess. I'm nosy. I'd be all up in everybody's business. I'd be listening to what you're talking about. I'd be going through your underwear drawers. Like, I want to see everything. I'm nosy. But then, second of all, I would take that nosiness a step further and I'd probably be going to like Area 51 and I'd be going like into the basement of the Vatican. Like, I want to see the behind the scenes stuff. But then, even further, I would probably be on my vigilante shit again.
Disclaimer: Jay didn't say that. NSA. It wasn't me.
It wasn't him. It was me, though. But that's why I don't have an invisibility
Mm.
cloak. That's
I
the only
think
reason, obviously.
I'd probably get myself killed. Not you get comfortable with the invisibility, and I was just like, no one can see me, and I just step out in the street, thump. Yeah, they couldn't
Oh,
see you.
oh my God.
Congratulations.
I think of all the possibilities. I'm like, well, what if, like, what?
Powerball. I would pick out my numbers, buy my ticket, then I would sneak up there in my cloak, have my hand in there, and I grab them, put it up, grab them. Oh,
See, absolutely,
sir,
absolutely.
how did you win 5 mega Powerballs in a row? I was like,
Oh my God. Yeah, I think about all the options. Like, okay, what areas are they likely to have like heat, like motion sensors instead of just visual? Like they could see my body, probably in like the CIA or someplace. I
but
mean, it's not a given, but it's a possibility more
that
than
goes
it
deep
is.
into that. It's how is it invisible? I mean, is it purely invisible? Can they pick up your body heat? Can it break a laser beam? Can you know?
Right. I never thought about those options. To me, it was just, it made you and anything you're holding invisible.
There's certain things that can do that now, but it's how far can you go?
Right. But that you're physically still there. Like someone could bump
Mhm.
into you and feel you.
Mhm.
Thermal imaging could pick you up. But I mean, what if not? What if that cloak fixed that? Oh my God, I would be up to no good. Ooh, mercy. And so obviously that's the only reason I don't have one is because the universe is saving me from that. I always think I'm really busy and never have downtime, but obviously I have too much time on my hands.
I called you that
Obvious.
one day. I heard that was on stories of Reddit. The genie said, "Hey, I'll give you what was it, 500 billion, whatever it was, if you can live on Earth for 100 or 500 years, but you're purely alone. Nothing ever spoils, everything gets renewed, but you're by yourself. Everybody else is frozen." I was like, "Damn, could you
Yeah.
do that? Could you keep yourself entertained that long?
Right.
I mean, you can go explore whatever you want, but for the next 100 or 200, however many years, you're purely they're standing there, but you can't talk to them.
And they don't age and decay.
No one ages. Everybody's frozen in that moment, including you. Well, you're not frozen, but your aging is stopped.
Right.
And according to the genie, even the planes in the air are frozen there. Nobody will be moved unless you move them. That's when my mischievous does it. Oh, they're going to come back too. And of course, for them, it's been a nanosecond. But
Hmm.
for me, it's been that long, and I've now moved them into weird and compromising places.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I could. I want to say that I could. I think I could because I don't mind being alone. But I like the option of being with people. I'm too much of a touchy feely, like give me a hug type of person, too affectionate. And right now, even if it's just my kid coming over once a week and going, give me a hug, mama. And I'm like, okay. or snuggling my grandbabies. Like there's someone to snuggle. I would just feel like I'm snuggling corpses. Just like a frozen woman on the street and being like, "Give me a hug."
Oh, you would hug those two? See, we're on the same page.
I don't know if we're on the same page.
I said hug. Don't go nowhere else.
That's why I was like, "Mm."
That would be weird because they'd be like warm mannequins everywhere.
Right. Weird. I would probably have to like scoot them aside, like
Well,
move them like furniture.
as I told you when we were talking about it, I would spend the first few years doing all my mischief just for the
Yeah,
simple
but I
fact.
wouldn't be mischievous. I would just be clearing shit out of my way so they're not in my way.
Well, I would do funny things to people, not hurt them, not do anything. But talking about they would wake up with, something wacky or weird happening around them. I mean, I want to do it in the first few years. That way, in the next 100 years, I forget. So when
You'd
the
have
moment time starts again, you start seeing the news pop up. I'm like, I forgot about that.
you'd have to dust them all off. Can you imagine how dusty they would get after
That's
500
true.
years?
I don't know. Would they be dusty or is that frozen too?
Is that frozen too? I don't
Well,
know.
I could do one for humanity. I could spend the next 500 years killing mosquitoes. They're all frozen. We'll find little bastards.
Right. Eradicate them, make them extinct.
Nobody would ever know the hero I was.
Right. The unsung hero.
Where'd the
Oh,
mosquitoes go? Got them.
it would be hard unless you knew how to fly a plane and
Hmm.
land one or how to drive a ship. Like it would be hard. You'd have to stay where you are, like on the body of land that you're on, because how would you get anywhere else?
Yeah, I could spend that time looking for Bigfoot. He would be frozen too, but find him.
There you go. You know what? Loch
Get
Ness
my
Monster.
pictures, take some blood samples, some selfies.
Who would make the tacos?
Well, the food's still out there and it doesn't spoil. I can cook my own tacos. That every restaurant that was serving, I can go eat people's plates. That'd be another one. Thousands of people would come to, and their dinner's missing.
Yeah, because that would be tricky. Like you'd think, oh my God, I'm going to eat all the food. I'm going to do all the things. But like, what's there to do? What's there to eat? Because there's only so much that was already prepared. 500 years is a long time, Jay.
But with one person, I don't think you could eat the whole world's food.
You don't think so? I think you underestimate me. Well, not the whole.
Yeah, so you have the whole. If you can make it everywhere, the whole
Yeah.
food supply's there. I mean, crops are in the field, food's still in the supermarkets. I mean, you just have to go get it.
Yeah.
You have to do it yourself.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
you
the
know what? I
problem.
feel spicy today. I'm gonna go to the supermarket. And I'm gonna go find Gordon Ramsay's kitchen and cook it in front of him, and he won't be able to
Oh,
insult me.
yeah. Yeah, it would be interesting. I don't know. It'd be cool if you could choose one person to stay awake with you, but I don't know. I think it would be tricky if you had to be by yourself.
It'd be very hard.
But if you could choose somebody, that would be fun.
Hmm.
That would be really fun. I mean, I'd ask who you would choose, but like obviously it would be me, and I'll accept no other answer. I'll know that any other answer you give would just be a lie, so no
That's
sense
fair.
even asking.
I wasn't gonna find someone who could fly. So you
Well,
brought up a good point. We got to get across the ocean. I'm gonna go into
yeah,
the Vatican's archives.
maybe that's why you were having those dreams where you were in some kind of a simulator. Like spirit was already preparing you for this. They were teaching you how to fly, they were teaching you how to do things. So we can just continue that on and we can learn.
Hmm.
We,
You know what?
we can read books. Would the internet still work?
I assume all the power grids, everything would work, everything would be replenished. It's just you
Well,
had no contact, no animals, nothing. Everything's frozen.
right. So, I mean, as long as you have YouTube,
Hmm.
you can learn to do anything. We could learn how to fly a plane and land it. That's the big part.
Hmm. I'd be more comfortable finding a nice size like yacht and sailing across. You just look at the current weather and just navigate around
Cruise
any
ship,
storms. Yeah.
big cruise ship. Yeah. I mean, what might as well be
Probably be
comfortable.
easier to learn how to drive a yacht versus a cruise ship.
But do you think a yacht would survive well across the seas? Like
Everything's
seas
frozen.
can get
Nothing's
rough.
pitching. You're just kind of sailing.
Okay, so there's zero weather, like no waves,
According to the
no.
story, everything's frozen. Anything that moves is because you moved it now.
Okay. Okay, well then, But do yachts hold enough fuel to get across the ocean?
Oh, I don't know. Well, YouTube that one. Or you know what? I can live out some dreams and we can go borrow a destroyer or a cruiser and sell that. It should have enough fuel.
There you go.
And I can play with the guns.
Cool. As long as you don't shoot me. Oh my God, that's awesome. The sweatshirt makes me so claustrophobic. Ugh. Do you like sweatshirts? Do you like hoodies?
I do.
I typically do, but this one has a really tight head hole. Makes me claustrophobic.
I have several that I collect them wherever I go. You go to the souvenir shops, buy them. You'll have
Yeah.
it says Dublin or Disney or Amsterdam,
Mm.
wherever you go. I find some stuff like that. I
I've
collect.
learned that I need to start purchasing them in person because I'm so picky about my fabrics and textures. And lately, all of them that I order online, they feel gross to me. Luckily, this one's a little thick. I like things that are super soft, just so soft. This
Yes,
one's a little thick.
soft and thick. It's the way to go.
So what else is going on with you?
I guess for anybody who's followed along, I am working again. Because I know in some of our earlier episodes we were talking about unemployment and layoffs, so I have been working again for the last month.
Right on. How's it
So
going?
it's going well. I'm adjusting to the new place, learning their systems. Good people so far. They have no issue buying copious amounts of food.
I was gonna say they feed you well.
There's always some sort of donut or pizza or something hanging around.
Oh, you're
So,
not even mentioning the good stuff they take you for, like
oh yeah,
barbecue and steak,
Italian
wasn't it?
steaks. Yeah, so I try to avoid some of that. I was like, man, you guys maybe gain 20 pounds, and I'm already extra thick. I don't need the help.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's time to rein it in a little bit.
That's that update. So we are doing well, moving along.
Yeah, that's great. So happy for you. Didn't last long.
I do miss the month of just sleeping in and having all the time I wanted to meditate during the daytime. That was quite nice. Back to the
Yeah,
grind.
I bet.
I caught up on so many shows.
I could use a dose of that. What shows did you catch up on?
I don't
Anything
even remember
good?
now. I just was going some shows that I wanted to start but didn't, and it was just one right after another. Movies, shows like I like Equalizer one, but I never made time for two and three. I was like, I got nothing else better to do one day, two and
Love
three.
those.
So it was
Love
stuff like
those.
that. I was just catching up.
I just started watching the new season of Reacher. Do you watch Reacher?
I haven't started the latest one.
Yeah. And there's another one. I can't remember the name of it. Was it called like The Night Desk or The Night Caller? Like a
hmm
guy that has, you know what I'm talking about? He sits at
Yeah,
the desk and waits
I've
for the
seen
phone to
season
ring.
one. I haven't seen season two.
Right. I guess season two just came out. I haven't seen it yet though.
That's my only beef with some of Netflix stuff is they'll space their seasons so far that I
Hmm.
don't really remember season one. That's the running joke with Stranger Things. They're going to finally come out with their final season, and the kids going to be in their 40s, still trying to pretend like they're in high school.
I don't typically watch too many guy shows. Those were kind of leftovers from Fred. I watch stuff that you probably wouldn't be interested in, like Downton Abbey. I just watched that again, and Outlander, I watched that again, and I don't know.
I
Those
know
are
what
my
they are.
comfort shows. Huh?
I know what they are. I haven't watched them, but I know.
All right. That sounds
So,
like you probably wouldn't be interested in
the
them.
closest thing I watched to that, I think I went through all the Crown. I like that.
I liked The Crown. Yeah. What did I just watch recently? Oh, what I plan to watch soon again is The Tudors. And what are the ones that are generations before? There's The White Queen and The White Princess,
Tudor,
maybe.
is that the one like on HBO or Showtime?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Had tons of nudity. I remember that.
I like any of those historical type shows or period dramas. Handmaid's Tale is getting ready to come back on. Oof. Have you ever watched Handmaid's Tale?
Mm-mm.
I think every person in America, it should be required watching because it is no longer just art. It is definitely art imitating life, unfortunately. But like,
Or is that life imitating art?
yeah, there was a movie. Was it Argyle? Have you seen the movie Argyle?
Mm-mm.
It was where this lady writes fiction books and she just writes, these like spy novels and stuff.
Oh, and they started coming where they were real.
Yeah, so they kidnap her and ask her what's
How do
going
you
to happen
know?
next.
Yeah, or
Yeah, yeah,
something.
yeah. Kind of like that. Like she was just writing The Handmaid's Tale, and now all of a sudden, here we are. So, any news or development on like your various gifts? Have you had any new experiences?
What I've been trying lately is, a lot of, well, I don't know. Everybody's different. I wake up constantly through the night, especially in the middle of the night. So what I've been trying to do is meditate at that very moment. Obviously, I'm really in that really good spot, real close to sleep. So it doesn't last long. But I have been seeing neat things or hearing them more clearly, getting images, songs. So that's been kind of neat. Seeing family members in dreams. Yeah, just little nudges and guidance and things like that. So dividends, I guess. Keep trying. Don't stress out when you start the spiritual walk, and it's like I saw online. Some people take 5 or 6 years to come out of this journey. It'll go by pretty quick. Don't think you got to get it
Mm-hmm.
done in 2 seconds. Nothing
Right.
happens in 2 seconds. Be
Mm-mm.
patient. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be scary. It's going to be all those things, but it's part of it.
Yeah. I had a narrator like you normally have. I won't say for the first time, it's probably just the first time I've paid attention. I don't remember if I was asleep or if I was like half asleep, but it was an old man. In your experience, you hear them reading a book, and then when you acknowledge them, they sound shocked that you are
Mm-hmm.
can hear them. This one sounded more like he was talking to me and he was narrating what was happening in the dream or whatever I was thinking about. I won't say he was telling me a story, but he was narrating what was going on. And he knew that I was listening.
I think mine was shocked that I finally said anything because the next phrase was, he's not supposed to notice this until Northern California. And so I think that's what that was. It wasn't, they were reading to us. Mine was shocked because I guess I jumped, meaning I skipped ahead somehow. I
Hmm.
wasn't supposed to notice him quite yet.
I want to know what the California bit means. You moving?
I have no idea. I have no inclination. The only inclination I have there is going to see redwoods and sequoias. I really want to go see those.
Are they
Mm-hmm.
still open? Can you still see them, is my point?
I can drive by and wave.
Can use binoculars from a distance.
Well, I mean, they're huge, so it shouldn't be that hard. The
Right.
sequoias, from what I understand, and people correct me, I think they're more southern, and the redwoods are up north. So
I
that'd be
think
one of
so.
those kind of long trips or split trips. So I like going to national parks. I like going to see trees and volcanoes and mountains and
Right.
canyons.
Yeah, I think you were missing the point of what I was
Oh
saying.
no, I get it. I just it's like, yeah, I can't do shit about it. I'm not going to let it rile me up.
Yeah. Well, I don't want you riled up. I just want you to plan with that in
Stay. I
mind.
know. I know.
Plan with that in mind, unfortunately. Hopefully it won't stand long and everything will be okay.
Yeah, maybe he'll cut them all down. Won't worry about seeing
You shush your face.
them. I'm an agent of chaos. At this point, I'm like, let it happen. Let's see what happens.
I'm secondhand offended for those
I
trees. I'm just like, dare you take it back?
want to go see them. I want to go stand in their
Me
presence and
too. I've never seen them. I'm terrified of critters, though. Like, there's bears and all kinds of stuff out there. Scares me.
bears, Sasquatch, hippies.
I'm less afraid of Sasquatch than I am of bears and mountain lions and
Oh, they
whatever's
got
out
mountains.
there.
They have a lot of good variety of rattlesnakes in the area. Not just your, diamondbacks. They have all the sidewinders, and I think there's one.
Shut up.
There's
You're
plenty.
not
There's a
helping me.
there's a plethora of choices.
That's why I don't ever want to come meet you because you're always like, yeah, I keep the snake hook by the back door. I just had to go move a rattlesnake.
Well, I have chickens, and most of the snakes that come up are non-venomous, but they're looking for the eggs. And so I take my hook and I relocate them. Everything's in balance, and that's how I live life. But occasionally, the venomous snakes will come up, not for the eggs, but because there's feed, and the mice come up for the feed. And so they come up for the
Mm,
mice. So I have to relocate copperheads, cottonmouths, or whatever I encounter in there.
mm, mm.
Copperheads are chill. You can just pick them up, move them. Cottonmouths, in my experience with them, want you to die. They immediately show you that open mouth, and they'll strike when you get pretty close.
You know, I lived in Arizona. I lived in Phoenix for 7 years, as you guys know, and knock on wood, because I don't want anything to change. But like when I was there, I never saw one snake. I saw one snake dead in the road at one point when I was out in the desert. But beyond that, I never saw one snake. I never had a scorpion. I think I got stung by a scorpion once, but I didn't see it. I woke up to blinding pain and there was a big red welt with a puncture mark in the middle. So I'm thinking it was a scorpion, but I didn't see it. Every day I would pray, please don't let me come into contact with any snakes or scorpions. Please protect me. I don't even want to see them. If they're here, get them away from me. I don't want to see them. Thank you. And I never did. So I would need to be saying those prayers before I go anywhere else, too.
I've seen scorpions, but I've never been bitten by one of those.
It was painful. It was right on my boob and it hurt. I think I rolled over on it and, I had this is TMI, but I had really big boobs and I think it got trapped under my
Same
boob.
girl, same.
Yeah, I rolled over in the morning. I was sleeping and all of a sudden blinding white lightning pain. I was just like, and I jumped out of the bed and was looking. I saw nothing, but I went in the bathroom and right on my breast there was a huge red welt with like a big stinger mark in the middle. Took a few months to heal, But
Could it have been of any kind of bee or wasp, hornet
I don't
maybe?
know. I don't know, but the stinger mark was probably the size of a pencil eraser. I mean, it was decent size.
You figure you would have seen that thing in there.
You'd think, unless it
Hmm.
scrambled away super fast. I don't know. But, you got in the habit of always shaking out your shoes and before you put on any coats or jackets that have been hanging up, shake them out and shake the sleeves out and never let your blankets or sheets touch the floor from your
I had a
bed.
buddy when I was, living in the desert out there. Anytime we would be working and digging holes or whatever, he would catch the tarantulas or the scorpions. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Oh, the local pet stores pay me for them. I'm like,
Ugh.
yeah, I never thought about that. I just try to stay clear of them. Nah.
Paul, my fiance at the time, had taken the kids scorpion hunting because, they glow under a black light. They glow in the dark. And the kids thought that was the coolest thing. So they'd gather up all the canning jars or a big pickle jar or something and take my kitchen tongs. And I'm like, ugh, I'm going to have to buy new tongs now. But they'd go out and with the black light, find them and stick them all in the jar. And I'm like, if you even think about bringing those things back home, don't, or you're all homeless. I never went though. I don't want anything to do with it.
That's one critter I haven't had to deal with. As
You're
far as
lucky.
arachnids and the standard brown recluse and black widows, but that's about it.
Well, you were in Arizona when you were
Mhm.
in the army for a while,
I
and
didn't encounter any of the scorpions when we were out there.
and you were in the yucky part of
Yeah.
Arizona, like the armpit of
Mm.
Arizona.
I saw the
Yeah,
snakes, spiders sometimes, but we rarely saw scorpions and
you're,
bomblets and other things that you probably shouldn't be stepping on. It's like, ooh, they made me walk through this field and I see the little parachutes. They're attached to little bomblets. I'm like, hmm. You remember the old computer game Minesweeper?
hmm.
That's how I felt, just a live version of it.
I used to be so good at that game.
Apparently, I am too.
I'm glad. I'm glad. Yeah, I used to be so good at that. I'd be so fast. Like Rubik's Cube, I used to be really fast at that too.
Never really. I mean, I had one, but I never really played with it that much.
No,
Mm-mm.
I did. And I got really good at it. Right now, I probably couldn't solve one side.
I
But
had a
back in the
buddy.
day,
I had a buddy. Legos makes a what they call it, but basically it's computer driven and it moves and you can program it to do whatever. He had built it to
mhm,
where he could put any Rubik's cube in it and it would solve it pretty quick.
that's so cool.
I mean, that's just him. He loves gadgets. And you could stick it in there and it'd solve it. You
Yeah.
put another one in there and solve it.
Back then, like, because I was so good at that one, for Christmas one year, my mom had gotten me another one that looked like a pyramid, and I was horrible at that. I never got good at that one, but I remember other kids would try to solve it and they'd get frustrated and they would just take the stickers off and move them around. But I could legit solve it. Yesterday in the meeting, we talked about astral projection. Mia wanted to know about astral projection. So we talked a little bit about that. Have you ever accomplished that or done that?
Not intentionally, but I do have memories of it. Like I was
Really?
meditating in my room. And then when you go like looking into my daughter's room, it has a very large square window, but then like kind of like a dome glass piece, kind of like that.
Hmm.
And I was meditating. Next thing I know, I was flying towards the window and I shot out of it and I head past the barn that's just over here. And then the memory cuts. So for the
Oh,
briefest moment, I was still aware when I was shooting off.
that's interesting.
That's, I wasn't allowed to remember any more than that.
I've been close a couple of times, I think, because I've heard that like right before you're ready to pop out of your body, you start vibrating like dum dum
Hmm.
dum 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 dum. And I have felt that several times and I always pull back and I'm like, "Oh, no, getting close, don't want to do that." And I pull back. I just feel like I would feel vulnerable.
So we were opposites. That they probably won't let me remember that because, oh, you're out of your body. It's time to go back. No.
Yeah, well, just because you don't know what you can encounter out there when you're out of your body, and other people are like, you're always safe. And other people are like, no, you're not. So
Yes.
until I know more
Well,
about it,
see, as was it as above, so below. Same thing when
r-
you leave your house. You don't know
right?
if you're safe. You don't know what you're going to see. Same thing.
You're you're talking to the wrong person about that because I never leave my house.
Fair.
Very rarely, because I'm always like, I don't know what's out there. Better stay home. I mean, I do occasionally. It's not like I'm a hermit, but like close. But it's just so vulnerable out there. It's like the wild, wild west out there. You don't know what you're going to encounter. I shocked several people in there. You should have seen their faces. Like when I said, and I've heard several times that a lot of people use it for other reasons. Like you can agree to meet up in the astral and like bound chicka wow wow. And yeah, a couple of people were just like,
It
what?
ain't it ain't cheating if you're out of your body. That's right.
What happens in the astral stays in the astral. But
Just glide on over.
I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of all this. It's a little too much for me. If any of you guys out there, if you've watched this long and you have ever astral projected, let me know what you've experienced. Do you
Uh,
see other beings out there? Have you seen aliens? Did you see your guides?
did you hook up?
Did you hook up? Like, no pressure, but tell us everything. We want to
Oh,
know. You know, and if you're really, really good at it and you do it a lot, let us know. Maybe you'd be willing to come on and talk to us about it. Like, we would be okay with that too.
purely for science, not for the astral hookups.
Purely for science. Yeah. Yeah. Not for the brown chicken, brown cow. What else did we talk about? We talked about one of the people felt like they have a hanger on spiritually. It's a trickster that she is thinking is bothering her and like hanging on. And what does she do about it? She feels it blocks her pendulum and that it is, even with her other clairs, if she tries to talk to her guide, she feels like it's inserting itself. And so my first question was, what makes you think it's not one of your guides? And she's like, well, I'm not really sure. But then at one point she's like, well, it did call me a name once. And I'm like, okay, trickster. Because like your guides will never, ever, 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 ever do that. They will never be rude to you. They will never be mean to you. I used to get messages about this all the time. So using my pendulum the other day, my guide said I was an effing whore. Like, do you think that was really my guide? Why are they being mean to me? I'm like, that was not your guide. Well, what about this other time when
It was. It saw
they
what happened in the astral projection.
they saw what you did in the astral?
I was like, whoa.
No, no shaming around here. Do you, boo? Get your freak on. Get your astral freak on.
Well, in the astral,
No
you got your
judgment.
body. So, I mean, do you blue makes a new, ghost stuff. So.
Boo. Yeah, like that picture I sent yesterday. I'm like, we listen and we don't judge. And it was a picture of us both going,
Hey, I'm not judging. I'm like, if you can teach me this is a great power. I mean,
right. Just for science.
for science, the betterment of humanity.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, you'd be able to stay disease free, right?
No astral STDs.
You wouldn't have to like worry about dirty pictures getting out or, text messages getting shared, screenshots, nothing like that. Cause I mean, it's all in the astral. So who's going to prove what? That's all I'm saying.
Your Honor, that's not my ectoplasm.
I mean, I don't think that would be my speed, but I mean, if that's yours, like, I'm here for the stories. Like,
I'm here for the jokes.
I'm here to learn about it. So, we're getting ready to record on the 12 universal laws. Any forethought on that? Have you read up on the material or are you just going in cold?
Oh, I got it pulled up already. I've been looking at it. I watched the video you showed me. I'm like, no, this all makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
I didn't have names for most of this stuff, but through the course
Okay.
of time, you run into this stuff. It just
Yeah.
I had no name for a lot of it. But, oh, I have a name for that.
Nice. Okay. So, if you guys have made it this far, thank you. You are the OGs. You are our true friends. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we are getting ready to film on the 12 universal laws. So, come back next week and learn about that. That will help with your manifesting and all that good stuff. So, let us know in the comments if you have anything to add, if you have any replies to the nonsense you heard today.
This is typical conversation.
This is our typical conversation. I always say that these shooting the shift episodes are just really what our phone calls would be. Like, this is your peek behind the curtain. This is real life here. This is the real shit or the real shift.
Hmm.
But, anyways, yeah, this is when shift gets real. Yeah. So, thanks for hanging out with us, and text us, call us. We will have all the contact information down in the description box. And thank you guys. Thank those of you who have texted and
Mhm.
emailed. We appreciate it. And we read every single comment, every single text, every email, and keep them coming. We appreciate hearing from you.
We
All right, you
appreciate you
guys.
guys.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Keep your hearts open. You are loved. Okay, bye.